Hi, so I have been doing a little more listening to other people and some experts on Kohberger. And some of the stuff I don't agree with, and some of the stuff I do agree with. I have been studying belonging through a kind of personality through a belonging lens for several years now, and I look at things from individualism versus collectivism, but I really look at how people are creating their belonging, because belonging is a need, through how they're processing information, how they're learning, personality, all those kinds of things. One of the things that's very, very key to how Brian processes information, and people who are like the type that he is, and I'm actually writing about this in my book, is don't ever let them be bored. They want to be the smartest person in the room. Let them think they are the smartest person in the room. And don't let them be bored. If you bore them, they'll think you're beneath them. They think they're the smartest person. They're highly intelligent. It's kind of like animaniacs. They all think they're the brain, and everyone around is Pinky. I've worked with people like this. You show any kind of weakness, you show any kind of that goofiness or anything, they are going to look at you like you're an effing idiot. You can tell by the way they walk that they're this type of person. Let me tell you, the way they carry themselves. And unless they tone it down. Actually, I was talking with someone today about this. We were talking about some things around marketing that I've been working on. And we talked about the enemy and the us versus them. And I said, yeah, I understand that, because this is how we process information. One is based on rules, and the other is based on thinking. And I said, when you have both of those, it makes it stronger. And Brian has both of those. The other thing I wanted to talk about with him, and you can freely disagree with me, I'm okay with that, is I really honestly don't believe he did this to be famous, like other people would do this to be famous. He really wasn't about drawing attention to himself. He was more about, I want to be acknowledged as the smartest person. I want everyone to see me as the smartest and the best. There's a difference between being in a musical and being the lead and everyone's signing the autographs versus being in a musical because you're good and being noticed and signing a deal because of it. He would be the second one. I got noticed, I signed a deal, I'm good. I don't need to be the lead. Now, why do I say that? It was his reactions. It was he didn't have to say anything for it. Respectfully, I declined. He didn't respond to the victim's impact statements. He didn't. He was so composed. It was more like, how do I figure out to get people's attention so that I can show I'm the smartest person in the room, so that I can show that you need to work with me and create a program for either people like me or, some sort of studying around this. This was all around academia. And I agree with that. This was around being known in the academia world. That's really what this was about. He didn't care if he was known in any other realm. It would be like that whole situation I just said, being in a musical. Someone's the lead singer, the lead in that musical, and the other person is just acting, and they get a signed deal in a movie. And they've never really cared about musicals. They just want to be in the movie. He doesn't care about video games, about, what he cares about is being the best in the criminology around academia. That's what that's about. How can I be the best at that? And if that means unaliving people, hey, that means unaliving people. If that means all these other things, that means all these other things. You also have to understand the reasoning behind it. There's several other reasonings behind it. And it could be, there's also, he struggles with, from what I've seen and from what I understand, obsessive compulsive. So when you get an idea in your head, you can't get it out. It's kind of like a song you get in your head that you go like, thanks, I can't get that song out of my head. But it's on a higher level. He had so many things that were different about him that he was also trying to find a way to fit in. And he was bullied. So then he bullied to try and find a way to fit in. And he felt powerless. So I'm going to share a personal story. I was bullied a lot. And one time, only once, I turned around and bullied someone. I did not like that feeling, and I've never bullied ever since then. One time. However, other people that continued to do that because they had been, they do it because it gives them the power. It makes them not feel so powerless. He was looking for ways to find belonging, not feel powerless in it. He was looking for a way to be accepted. And all these little factors made him feel like he didn't have belonging or acceptance. And so when you don't have that, you say F it, and you may do something really dumb like what he did. And then if you have obsessive compulsive on top of it, you're going to be thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking about it. What's the best way I can do this? How can I do this within the confines of whatever? So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that more in depth. I think there's going to be more coming out, but he's someone I see that needs more. He's a little different. Let's just put it that way. He's a little more stoic. He's a little less emotional. He's a little more reserved. And I think because of that, there's some more issues going on that he needs to be able to be in a situation where he can actually let some of that stuff out. And I'm not the person who's volunteering for that. But I think that when we understand things like obsessive compulsive, we understand things like autism, we understand things like neurodivergent, the snow thing that he deals with, all those kinds of things. Because he's also dealing with a place of not feeling emotion and looking for ways to feel emotion. He's looking for ways to belong, looking for ways to be normal. And again, when you can't find that, a lot of times you say F it. And you either start to do self-hatred towards yourself, or you do things to other parties because you're so angry that you won't be accepted. And a very sad place to be. And that's usually how it comes out when you don't receive belonging. So on that note, I didn't mean to be so depressing. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.